Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there's lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you the latest news on Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan. After that I'm going to be giving you some latest news on Adrian Rabiot from Juventus. Then after that I'm going to be giving you the latest news on Paul Pogba. Have been keeping up to date of what's been going on with Paul Pogba on a regular basis. Then after that, I'm going to be giving you the news on David De Gea. So that's what I'm going to be negotiating with you about on this video. So we are going to start with the news on Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan. So I was reading reports earlier on today, and this was stemming from Sport, which is a Spanish newspaper. And they have mentioned that Manchester United and PSG have entered the race for Lautaro Martinez, and reportedly both clubs have offered multi-million pound contracts for Lautaro Martinez. Now, I think Lautaro Martinez I think this has been his second season with Inter Milan. I think he's actually done very, very well for Inter Milan. I think he has got a contract with Inter Milan, is it until 2023, so he's still got quite a few years left on his current contract. Inter Milan did pay, was it around just over 22 million euros for him from Racing Club, back in 2018. I think he enjoyed around 4 years at Racing Club and scored around 27 goals in 60 appearances, did the player. Lautaro Martinez has got around a 111 million release clause. Well, 111 million release clause, yeah. I think it's euros actually, so it actually equates to around 90 odd million in pound sterling. So reportedly Inter Milan have got no intentions of offloading Lautaro Martinez. Don't forget also too, Barcelona have expressed their interest in the player, and he is only at the age of 22. And I've got to say, I think he's a fantastic striker, and I would be excited about the prospects of him, coming to Manchester United. I really, really wouldn't that. Because obviously, we're looking for an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Don't forget, Inter Milan have loaned a couple of their players out. Don't forget, they let Mario Icardi go out on loan to PSG. Mario Icardi, by the way, I think has had his contract terminated at PSG because his wife confirmed that he wants to make a return back to Italy. Also, too, the loan Ivan Perisic out to Bayern Munich. Also, too, don't forget they recruited 3 of our players did Inter Milan. They got Ashley Offers, Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku was actually playing alongside Lautaro Martinez in the Serie A. And also, too, they got Alexis Sanchez off us on loan. But Inter Milan have got no intention, of getting Alexis Sanchez on a permanent transfer. They also got Christian Eriksen back in January in that. So there are the reports that have been coming out today saying that we've offered him a multi-million pound contract. So yeah, he's got a 111 million euro release clause, and it equates to just under 100 million in pound sterling in that. So would you take Lautaro Martinez at Manchester United? And like I said, it's very, very essential, that we do recommend the striker in the summer transfer market. There's been a lot of strikers on our agenda, but you already know the news on that. Odion Ighalo, I've been keeping up to date of what's been going on with him on a regular basis. Odion Ighalo's come out and confirmed that he wants his loan extended at the football club. His loan deal extended until the Premier League season is completed. I'm not sure, if we are going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. It's already confirmed it will cost us around £15 million to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer, which is a cheap solution. If it had been like 4 or 5 years younger, probably Ighalo, would have cost us quite a bit more than £15 million. But at the moment, we've got him on loan. We paid around £4 million to get him on loan, and we are now paying a third of his wages. And Odion Ighalo's loan spell at the football club does expire at the end of this month. So this is why he wants his loan extended at the football club. But I've got to say, Ighalo's been a good cover-up to Marcus Rashford. Ighalo, to be fair, has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career in that. So there you go. But he said, we're waiting for the season to resume. Then we're going to enter in negotiations with Shanghai Shenhua over extending his loan deal or possibly, getting him permanently in that. But Solskjaer made the admission, a while back now, saying, it's likely that Man United will get him on a permanent transfer. And Ighalo, by the way, is a lifelong Manchester United supporter. So there you go. Now let's delve into news on Adrian Rabiot from Juventus. I'm going to reiterate some of the stuff I mentioned quite a few weeks back now, because I think I mentioned Adrian Rabiot, quite a few weeks ago. So reportedly, Adrian Rabiot is likely to leave Juventus in the summer. According to, I think it's Tutor Sport, which is an Italian publication, and he's only been at Juventus around 1 year. This has been his first season with Juventus as Adrian Rabiot's. Don't forget, Juventus got him on a free transfer last summer from PSG. They got him on a free transfer. I think, didn't he sign, was it like a 5-year deal if I'm right? So he's got a contract with Juventus until 2024 as Adrian Rabiot. I think it's mentioned as well that we have scouted the player quite a few times, this season. Obviously, whilst he's been playing for Juventus. Now, Adrian Rabiot, he's 25 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. I think we also expressed an interest in Adrian Rabiot when he was at PSG. Because actually, Adrian Rabiot did spend the vast majority of his career with PSG. Like I said, he was there for several years, and I think he won a total of 18 major honours with PSG, including 5 Liga 1 titles. 5 Liga 1 titles. I think he won the domestic treble in 2015-16 and domestic treble in 2017-18 and that. So he was so good for PSG, was Adrian Rabiot. Yes, he really, really was in that. But yeah, I think, Juventus would be open to selling the player. Don't forget, I think he played for Manchester City. I think he was in Manchester City's youth setup, before as well, was Adrian Rabiot. But yeah, like I said, Juventus have got quite a few players in on free transfers in recent years. They got Adrian Rabiot in on a free last summer. They also got Aaron Ramsey on a free transfer last summer. I think Aaron Ramsey is actually, Juventus' second highest paid player, just behind Cristiano Ronaldo. Didn't they get Emre Canning on a free as well a couple of summers ago? So, they have got quite a few players on free transfers at Juventus and that. But yeah, so would you like to see Adrian Rabiot come to Manchester United? I think he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder as well. Now, let's delve into the news on Paul Pogba. So the question is, what club can afford to buy Paul Pogba? Now, obviously, according to Marca, like I mentioned recently, which is, of course, a Spanish newspaper, is Marca, they said, that Real Madrid have now dropped their interest in Paul Pogba. And the main explanation why they've dropped their interest is because they're not willing to pay Paul Pogba's wages off. They're not willing to pay it. Because Pogba is on around, £300,000 a week at the football club. And plus, Real Madrid have got other midfielders on their agenda, such as N'Golo Kante from Chelsea. They've been tracking that Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes and that. So Real Madrid are no longer interested now in Paul Pogba. Don't forget last summer, Real Madrid were relentlessly linked with Paul Pogba. Don't forget the last summer, Paul Pogba said he wanted to leave the football club because he was seeking for a new challenge, and he even publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the football club and that. But the main explanation why Pogba's move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him, because we came out and said we wanted £180 million. We was demanding just over double than what we paid for him from Juventus, because we paid £89 million for him from Juventus. So Paul Pogba is our most expensive signing at the moment. But, Real Madrid, did recruit a good 5 or 6 players in last summer. Like I said, they got the likes of Eden Hazard, who sustained quite a few injuries as a Real Madrid player. They got Luka Jovic in, who has been very inconsistent for them since they got him from Frankfurt. They got Ferland Mendy, Rodrigo, Eden Militao, and that. Yeah, so they did recruit quite a few players in. But they're also looking to get rid of players at Real Madrid as well. They're looking to offload Dani Ceballos permanently. I think they said they wanted around 44 million for him. They're also looking to get rid of Bale. He's been subjected to transfer speculation for a lot of years. They're also looking to get rid of James Rodriguez. They're looking probably to get rid of Karim Benzema, because he's coming to an end of his playing career anyway. So there you go. So Real Madrid are now no longer in for him. So that's actually now giving Juventus a boost in their pursuit of Paul Pogba. I've been reading reports today, by the way, and it actually has been confirmed. This is stemming from Tutto Sport, which is an Italian source, and they've actually said that Ed Woodward has lowered Paul Pogba's asking price. So reportedly, we've lowered his asking price from £150 million to £100 million. And we said, if we sell Paul Pogba this summer, we want at least £100 million for the player. There was reports coming out saying, recently, not too long ago, that we could only get 60 or 70 million pounds for the player. But I did say if we do sell Pogba in the summer, we need to get more money than what we paid for him. But obviously, due to the financial issues with the coronavirus pandemic, we may get less than what he's worth. So there you go. Swap deals as well have been on the agenda, don't forget. Obviously, he said that the other day that Juventus are willing to offer up to 3 of their players, to try and sign Paul Pogba. The players' names that have been mentioned, Adrian Rabiot, he's also been mentioned that he could be part of the deal of Pogba going back to Juventus. Douglas Costa's also been mentioned. Miralem Pjanic's been mentioned. I think also too Aaron Ramsey's been mentioned quite a few times, and I think maybe a few Manchester United fans at least would probably take Aaron Ramsey. But swap deals are very, very rare in the modern game. What I mean is they don't happen very, very often and that. So if he leaves this summer, Paul Pogba, I think he'll make a return back to Juventus. I really, really do. And it's also rare, that players go back to their former clubs. And don't forget, it isn't only been Juventus in for him, PSG, the other week had expressed their interest. Like I updated you, and it said that PSG had offered 2 of their players in a swap deal for Pogba, and that was Julian Draxler and Angel Di Maria. Of course, Angel Di Maria is a former Manchester United player. We had him back under the Louis van Gaal era. So, there you go. And I did say, didn't I, that swap deal was never going to materialise. Don't forget, he recently mentioned that Inter Milan have also, been in for Paul Pogba. Maybe Antonio Conte is keen on, reuniting with the player and that. So, a number of clubs have been in for Paul Pogba. But like I said to you this morning on my first video that I did, I think Paul Pogba is staying at the football club. I think he will be here next season. I'm not too sure though about the foreseeable future, but I think he will definitely be here next season. Revert back to before all the football was suspended. Paul Pogba was coming out saying that he was interested in staying at Man United and he was interested in extending his contract at the football club, and stuff like that. And then later on that week, this, like I've said before, this was Solskjaer's press conference prior to the last game, which was a good 7-8 weeks ago now because the football's been suspended for a while. But he came out and said that Pogba will remain at Manchester United next season. Don't forget it confirmed a couple of weeks back saying, that we've decided not to trigger that 1-year extension on his contract. So at the moment, Paul Pogba's got exactly a year remaining on his Manchester United contract. And that I think he'd only be the foreseeable future with Pogba if we could get him a long-term contract at the football club. But I think he's staying at Manchester United because don't forget, Solskjaer's been talking with Pogba, I think, and Solskjaer told Paul Pogba he wants to make him a key part of the club's future. And like Solskjaer revealed, he's excited about the prospects of Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes playing together in our midfield because they've not yet had the chance to play together in our midfield. And like I mentioned this morning, Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He's got 3 goals and 4 assists. So he's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career as Bruno Fernandes. Don't forget he won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting, on his good run of performances. And, we paid around £65 million for Bruno Fernandes, with add-ons included, so he is on that list as one of our most expensive signings. But Pogba and Fernandes playing, in the same, in our starting 11, obviously, you'd have Bruno Fernandes in the number 10, you'd have him in an advanced role. And, Pogba, he'd either play at number 6 or he would play at number 8. So, there you go. But I think, he's staying at the football club. I really, really do think he's staying, which is obviously, very, very good news. So, United fans have got different perceptions on Pogba. Some United fans would keep him and, some United fans would let him go. Obviously, if we got rid of him, it would free up our wage bill and that, don't forget. But like I said to Paul Pogba recently revealed his plan ahead of his return, and he aims to be the best player in the world, when the season does resume. Obviously, Paul Pogba gave an interview to the United podcast the other week. He said quite a few interesting stuff and that, but, he was talking about the issues that he's had with injuries this season and how much it's really infuriated him and that. Don't forget, quite a few weeks ago, he responded to the criticism, that he had received from Graham Souness, Paul Pogba. There you go. Rio Ferdinand, was talking a lot about Paul Pogba the other week, and he was actually, advising Manchester United to sell him. But he's been out for a good 7 or 8 months as Paul Pogba with injury, So he has been out of injury for a long time, but sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. Pogba endured a very difficult time under the Mourinho era. He also, got one of his best wishes when Jose Mourinho got sacked. Don't forget we had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go. Paul Pogba, due to limited appearances and stuff like that. Yeah. So that is the news on Paul Pogba. So what team could actually afford him? Gary Neville recently came out. Sorry about that, just need to come to the toilet. But Gary Neville, came out and said, it could Paul Pogba may not be able to leave till like 17 or 18 months or something like that. There you go. So that is the news on Paul Pogba. Now, I'm going to delve into the news on David De Gea. So, I've been reading recent reports, and this is actually stemming from Duncan Castles, who tends to be very close to Manchester United. And he's been speaking to a transfer window podcast. And he's actually said that Manchester United are unhappy with David De Gea's performances, and reportedly we are looking to offload him. Duncan Castles also mentioned, that we made a mistake by giving David De Gea a new long-term contract at the football club. Because don't forget, last September we did give David De Gea a new long-term contract worth around £375,000 a week. So David De Gea is the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, and he is the highest paid at the football club. Now, like I said to if we did decide to sell David De Gea, I think we could get around maybe 60 or 70 million pounds for him. We can definitely get a lot more than what we paid for him, from Atletico Madrid. We did get him from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. We did pay around 17 million pounds. Obviously, David De Gea has been at Manchester United since the Alex Ferguson era, and he's been a long servant at the football club. David De Gea is now into his 9th season at Manchester United. He's into his 9th season. Don't forget, David De Gea the other week said, he wants to stay at Man United and he intends to stay at the football club for another 10 years, and he's approaching his 10th year now at the football club. David De Gea, I think, has made, around 400 appearances in all competitions, or nearly 400 appearances if he hasn't. He's won everything domestically at the football club. He's won the club's Player of the Year 4 times out of the last 6 years, reflecting on his good run of performances. But like I've said to David De Gea has been a liability in the last couple of years and that, because he has made a lot of calamitous mistakes. But I think David De Gea will definitely be here next season. But this is stemming from Duncan Castles saying that Man United are unhappy with him. Now, revert back to 2015, Real Madrid were very close to getting David De Gea. But obviously, due to a fax machine, the deal never materialised. So he ended up staying at Man United. PSG and Juventus have also been in for David De Gea. And I think he's now in his late 20s. But he's still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, reflecting on what he's achieved and that. But like I said to when David De Gea does eventually leave Manchester United, I think he will make a return back to Spain, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Because like I said, he began his career in Spain, his relatives are from Spain, his girlfriend and that's from Spain. So this is, the main explanations why I think he would make a return back to Spain, David De Gea and that. But we've already confirmed next season anyway, he will be our number 1 goalkeeper. It's also mentioned in the media saying that if we were to get rid of David De Gea, we're looking at Andrea Onana from Ajax. I think we've been in for him before. I think, he's valued at around £35 million. Dean Henderson, he's out on loan at Sheffield United at the moment, is Dean Henderson. He's out on loan at Sheffield United at the moment. We're not sure whether, to keep him on loan at Sheffield United or not, because there was reports the other week, not too long ago, saying that if we, actually earlier on this week, but it said if the season resumes and Sheffield United qualify for the Champions League, Dean Henderson could cost us up to £60 million. Now, we've confirmed we're willing to loan him back out again, but, we're not willing to let him go on a permanent transfer, because I think we see Dean Henderson as a long-term replacement for David De Gea. I think he's been a revelation at Sheffield United, to be quite honest with you. He's also had quite a few other loan spells. Don't forget he had a loan spell at Shrewsbury, Grimsby, Stockport, so Dean Henderson's had quite a few loan spells and that. I think we can recall him from his loan on the 1st of July, but, I can't see him staying at Manchester United, because he will be number 2, of course, unless we sell David De Gea and that. So, yeah, he's done well at Sheffield United. Maybe Sheffield United may want to consider getting him permanently, I don't know. We've got other goalkeepers as well, we've got Sergio Romero. He's our second choice keeper, you can say. He tends to play in the cup games with Sergio Romero. We've also got Lee Grant. Lee Grant's seldom played. He's obviously, been out of injury as Lee Grant. Also, too, Joe Pereira. I think we've loaned Joe Pereira out, by the way. So, yeah, we've actually, got quite a few goalkeepers. So, yeah, so revert back to what I said. That's the news regarding De Gea. Duncan Castles has come out and said Manchester United are unhappy with his performances. So, there you go. Like I updated you yesterday, Solskjaer came out and confirmed that we will enter a much changed transfer market. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had come out and said. So, in a way, he was replicating what Ed Woodward was talking about quite a few weeks ago, because you had Ed Woodward coming out. Saying that we may not do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So what he meant is, we won't be spending big in that, and he ruled big transfers out to Manchester United. But obviously, Ed Woodward's willing to back Solskjaer, and he's obviously already made a transfer promise to Solskjaer, and that's saying, we will remain highly competitive in the summer transfer market. So this is what's being confirmed. But before Ed Woodward came out with his statement, Solskjaer insists, that we will exploit the transfer market when it does open, and that, this is what, he does believe. But, Solskjaer said, he wants Man United to make around 4 signings in the summer, because he believes we need around 4 signings to become title contenders. But I'm very, very sceptical that Man United will make 4 signings in the summer. Maybe we could make 1 signing, maybe we could make 2, but I don't think we're going to make 4. But don't forget, Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British players to Manchester United, like he did do last summer. And like I've said to you before, Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows at the football club, because so far Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at Manchester United, and he has spent around £220 million on 5 players. Last summer he recommended Daniel James, and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And of course in January he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. Got to say, Solskjaer enjoyed a successful January transfer window. But there you go. But he has recruited 5 good players in so far, which is a positive. And Solskjaer's identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. He wants to recommend a centre forward in, he wants to recommend a right winger in, and he also wants to recommend a midfielder in. And there's still been some reports emerging out saying that he wants to recommend a centre half in, but I'm very, very sceptical that Man United will recommend a centre half in. I really, really am in that. But yeah, so I'd give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at least another season, see how things plan out. If it doesn't work out, that's when I would get rid of him. Solskjaer has been at the football club now for around 17 months. Well, nearly 17 months. So he has been here over the year, including, the 3 months when he was the interim manager and stuff like that. But but he does deserve more time at the football club. He really, really does, because before the football season was suspended, we was in a good vein of form, because don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. like I've said to you, I've taken positives, so far from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. Now, I think he's promoted the youth very, very well. So it's good now we've got a reputation of, promoting the youth. Also, too, our approach to the big games this season's been sensational because we've registered like 17 points against the big six sides this season. The question is, do you think Manchester United need a tactical change? Maybe Solskjaer needs to work on that. He also needs to work on his best formation because I don't think he knows his best formation at the moment. Actually, Solskjaer has been changing formation persistently this season. Like I've said to you, I think we look more expansive with 3 at the back, but that's from my own perception. And he also needs to improve his approach to the games against the lower opposition because we haven't been so good against lower opposition. But yeah, I've seen improvements under Solskjaer, but these still things that he does need to work on, definitely. And don't forget, we have enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. We can get silverware on the board though under Solskjaer. If the season resumes, we can win the FA Cup, we can win the Europa League because we're into the FA Cup quarter-finals, we're into the last day of the Europa League and that. And hopefully we can get some silverware under Solskjaer. Hopefully we can do that. And we're sitting 5th in the Premier League at the moment, just 3 points behind Chelsea. Like I said, Solskjaer don't only want to get some more incoming, he also wants to get rid of more players in the summer. Like I've said, he's planning to get rid of probably around 5 or 6 players in the summer. Like I said, we'll definitely get rid of Phil Jones. Phil Jones has been here since the Alex Ferguson era. He's now into his 9th season at the football club, is Phil Jones. I think we'll also get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers because they're out on loan at the moment. Lingard and Pereira, they're also 2 liabilities. I think we'll also get rid of them. Delors, he could also possibly leave the football club because he's our backup right back, is Diego Delors. Jose Mourinho was the one who recommended him in his final transfer window. Hopefully as well we can get rid of Sanchez on a permanent transfer. I don't think we'll be able to get rid of him on a permanent transfer, reflecting on his substantial wages. I think maybe we can loan Alexis Sanchez back out. So yeah, definitely Solskjaer is planning to get rid of players, but he's got rid of a lot of players anyway since he got recommended in to the football club, which is a positive. And that. Like I said to you though, we don't want to sack Solskjaer yet. Like I said to you, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era, because we have sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, we sacked David Moyes, who enjoyed 8 or 9 months with the football club. Of course, we sacked Louis van Gaal, after he enjoyed 2 years at the football club. Louis van Gaal did win, the FA Cup. And obviously, we sacked Jose Mourinho after he enjoyed 2.5 years at the football club and that. And like I said, in the last 6 or 7 years, we have been playing catch-up. It's been transition, for a while as well. And like Solskjaer, really at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period and stuff like that. But look at the money that's been spent in the last 6 or 7 years. In reality, reflect on the money we've spent, we should be in Liverpool's position, because we spent close to the £1 billion range on recruiting players in. Moyes brought Fellaini and Mata in. Fellaini's no longer here. Mata is still here though. Louis van Gaal brought the likes of Depay, Schneiderlin, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Blind, Rojo, Darmian, Falcao, Depay. Yeah, Louis van Gaal brought a hell of a lot of players into the football club, but he also got rid of a lot of the players that we had under Ferguson. And like I said, Jose Mourinho recommended a lot of players into the club, and the vast majority of the players that Mourinho recommended in are still here now. So put into the equation, Solskjaer is inheriting the vast majority of them. You saw my video that I did this morning. I went through with you, didn't I? The 5 players. Well, the list of players, 5 or 6 I think I mentioned, but the list of players, that we shouldn't have sold since Ferguson left. After Ferguson's retirement, there's probably 5 players, we shouldn't have 5 or 6 we shouldn't have got rid of and that, to be quite honest with you. But there you go. And obviously, our priority targets are Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho. And Solskjaer, despite what he said, because like I said yesterday, he said we're going to have a difficult transfer. We're going to have a different transfer window. Sorry. He still wants us to recommend Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish into the football club and that. But like I said, We haven't dominated football since the Alex Ferguson era. Like I said, Ferguson endured 26 years at Man United. You know, won 38 major honours. Developed a hell of a lot of players as well. He had a hell of a lot of great players to Alex Ferguson. You know, Ferguson was the one who brought the success to the club. You know, obviously, don't forget though, he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United, Ferguson. So, you know, we was lucky, really. Because if that had been at this day and age, not winning out in 4 years, you know, you'd be sacked. You wouldn't even get 4 years now anyway if you was, you know, underachieving in that. But, so, there you go. But I think we've only been successful under Ferguson, you know, because we had Ron Atkinson. I heard that once a good under him. You know, we had Franco Farrell. Of course, we got relegated under Franco Farrell back in 1974. You know, we had Wolf McGuinness, I think, for like 18 months. But yeah, but when your team's inconsistent, you know, it's not all the blame stems from the manager. You know, like I've said, we've been very critical of Ed Woodward this season. For several years we've been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. Also, too, you know, we've had a lot of doubts about the club's ownership, the Glazers. So there you go. As you all know, we've got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire at the end next year, not end of season, next year. And that's something else we need to sort out. To be fair, we've extended quite a lot of players' contracts, you know, since Solskjaer came in. And so, yeah. And like I said, I've got reservations about Solskjaer, you know, that he's inexperienced as a manager and stuff like that. And the question is, can we get our 21st title under Solskjaer? Can we do it? And I'm hopeful, you know, that he can. I really, really am. So he just needs more time at the football club, like I mentioned. So, and I said, didn't I, you know, there's a lot of players I would still keep at Manchester United as well. You know, definitely in that. The good news is, though, Pogba and Marcus Rashford Paul Pogba and Marcus Rashford are both going to be back when the football season does resume. I've been reading bits and bats about, you know, when it's going to resume. There's talks about it resuming in June, and it needs to be finished by the 31st of July, so European games can be played in August. I also heard talks that there's going to be 5 substitutes, and I heard one report said they were mentioning that, you know, there could be games playing for just up to 80 minutes and stuff like that. And I don't know. They're coming up with different plans at the Premier League. But I think they're going to resume the season. Obviously, they're going to play it behind closed doors. So there you go. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.